I trained myself a lot to not train myself, meaning I just worked a ton on making sure that I was not pulling tricks or things that I naturally do as a performer that I've been disciplining myself for a long time. I always was a fan of Harley Quinn in the world. I always thought it was a really interesting, cool character. But my relationship with Harley and my character Lee really formed once I started speaking to Todd Phillips and Scott Silver about the script and really getting to work on it. In many ways, this is just very non-traditional. Yeah. And I think the term musical defines a genre. Whereas I think the movie really defies genre. It's so many different genres in one film. Music in this movie it's very special. It's different. It's sometimes reality. It's sometimes fantasy. I'll leave that for the audience to decide. And it's an expression of what the characters are going through, and sometimes in the scenes, sometimes in their minds, sometimes it's a dream. But it's up to the audience to put it all together and decide what it means to them.
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me.
The work that I do as an actor is very internal. It's a lot of building the soul of the character. And then the way we filmed this movie was very loose and free on set. So I didn't ever really decide ahead of time what I was going to do. I just built what I feel is Lee's inner turmoil and her pain and her sense of chaos inside her. So that was very different than preparing for the musical numbers. And those were all done in different ways because it was non-traditional. So for the waltz that I wrote for the movie, Folie, deux, the moment when we're dancing, that one was composed to be more traditional, but then to fall apart, sort of in the way that their love is mad and chaotic. But we, trained for that in a more traditional way. There were other moments where we didn't do that at all, and the approach was much more about pulling from the scene in a more kind of broken way, and in a way that maybe came more from the unhinged nature of my character, and maybe in the moment that her need for music. So it was always different, but I trained myself a lot to not train myself, meaning I just worked a ton on making sure that I was not pulling tricks or habits or things that I naturally do as a performer that I've been disciplining myself for a long time. That didn't work for her. She's not a disciplined performer, and she's also not a very together person. And I love that about her.
Konbini!